What is up, Honey Badger Nation? This is John Kitchens, and welcome to episode 148 of Expert Mentors Live. I am really excited for today's episode and today's conversation. Man, we have Isis on with us. We get to chat everything Mexico, investment, development opportunities, and why we must have our clients paying attention and looking to invest in Mexico. Isis, say what's up to the Honey Badger Nation.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is as happy as we are today.
I hope so. I'm pumped. And I was telling Isis before we went live, I was like, whoa. Hey, let's just wait. Let's save it till we go live because I have so many questions. Like I'm just so inquisitive and curious about obviously everything Mexico, real estate related. And just the little bit that you were sharing, I was like, I mean, like opportunity. And so I'm really excited to get into today's conversation. But before we jump in, I would love for you to give, the Cliff Note version, a little background about yourself and just kind of introduce to the Honey Badger Nation.
Sure. Okay, so let's see. I have a background in hospitality. I found really early on that making people happy made me really happy. So I kind of flowed with that. The only thing I didn't like about hospitality is that I was working 16, 17, 18-hour days sometimes. It was crazy. I was one of the youngest managers with a really big Spanish company, so I had a lot of responsibilities when I was really young. And then I kind of went over to the dark side, sales. They're like, hey, I think you have a whole bunch of potential. You don't have to work as many hours. I was like, okay, you have me, let's go. So I went into timeshare, which is a lot of people say, ooh, timeshare, but there's really great companies out there, and sales schools wise, there's nothing better. Like you get to talk to 2, 3, maybe 4 different couples a day. So you get to really refine, what it is to sell. Because a lot of us, when we go and show a house, it's like, this is the bedroom, this is the bathroom. And it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, hitting all those hot buttons and making sure that there's an emotional connection to the property that you're sharing with the people. The same timeshare company started selling real estate. I fell in love. I've been in real estate for 3 years, and I'm also on the development side. We are about to finish our first vertical development with 21 units here in the area. Very soon launching project number 2 and number 3. So we're really excited about that.
That is so cool. So what was some of the big, speaking of, the vertical product, what were some learning curves that you guys had to overcome and educate yourself on, and lessons learned versus staying on the ground?
We did everything from buying the land. My brother-in-law is the architect. We are the architects, builders, sellers. I mean, we have the whole
fully integrated
down. So I can only speak to the sales side of it, but a lot of it, we started off selling our product at $42,000. It's a 1-bedroom studio, 600 square feet. It was not bad, but what we're selling them at today, we're at 70,000, the same unit. So we learned that we started our price point a little bit too low. We were a little bit nervous. It was our first vertical development, but lesson learned, never again. We're going to start off with a little bit higher price points next time.
There you go. So share a little bit about your background prior to traveling a lot. You've spent a lot of time all throughout Mexico, and what's kind of to be learned about, especially where you're at. And I know we're going to speak and talk a little bit about that, but all the different points in Mexico, and it just seems like there's a lot of differences.
Definitely. Now, when people think of Mexico, unfortunately, the first thing that comes to mind is security. That's like the big thing that people are scared of Mexico. If anybody's really actually willing to give it a shot, to actually look beyond what's only in the press, because in Mexico, we like things like mass shootings on a day-to-day basis, in the sense, unfortunately, what happened in Florida a couple days ago and things like that tend to be really common sometimes in the States. Where here in Mexico, it's very central. If you're looking for trouble, you're going to find trouble in Mexico. But if you're living your life, not getting into sticky situations, you're going to be just fine. As a retirement capital of the world, because of the weather that we have, because here, there's so many people that come down to Mexico for medical procedures. We have medical tourism now that has taken off. There's clinics in Cancun where you come down for 2 weeks, you get your teeth fixed, you get a whole vacation, and it's still cheaper than getting your work done in the UK or in the States.
Wow.
There's every sort of different type of tourism.
Yeah.
Now, for Cabo San Lucas, which is on completely the other side where I am, we have a lot of retirees. That is, their main kind of focus to Cabo. Whereas on this side of Mexico, we're more adventure tourism. You've got like the cave diving and the cenotes, and you have a little bit more of an active lifestyle here. You've got
sharks. You got the sharks,
right?
You got
the sharks, exactly. We have whale sharks. We have bull sharks. Prior to kids, I have 5-year-old twins. Before that, I was diving 2-3 times a week. Now it's a little bit more difficult, but yeah, there's kite surfing. There's like cave diving, regular diving. Every time of the year, there's something different to do.
What are some of the biggest differences, between the real estate here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico? Like what are some of the big differences, things to kind of pay attention to, if you are looking to have, understand what's going on in Mexico real estate wise?
Price point. Now, John, what could you get for $300,000 back home? Where do you live right now?
Depends on where you're at. Here, not much.
What is not much? So like we can really
for us where we're at here in North Dallas, you've got to get away like another 30-40 miles to get 3,000 square feet or less, 2,300 square feet, 2,200 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage.
Okay. Whereas here you would get a luxury condo, resort living, in the sense that you have, like all the amenities, and the units would come furnished, decorated, and with all the appliances.
Wow.
Price points. This is what the main difference. This is the 300,000 mark. Let's go even further down. For $150,000, what could you get?
You'd have to move up to Oklahoma.
Okay. Nothing against Oklahoma, but it's not, not the hustle and bustle of, the nice, the bigger cities. So Here you can actually have a working business with that money. Why? Because you're going to buy a rental property. You're not going to be here for, 6, 7, 8 months out of the year. Most people, when they have investment properties, they say, I will be here for 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks out of the year. So that means you have 48 weeks to make money off your property.
Wow. Yeah. So that's huge, right? Price point and, the cash flow opportunities that you're able to have. So from that investment point, you're talking 48 weeks, whatever, being able to utilize it. What are you seeing in your area for, occupancy, what is some typical?
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Tulum, and we're going to talk about 2020 pandemic year, where everyone was scared to fly.
So Isis, share where you're at exactly. Where
I am in Playa del Carmen. So we have the Riviera Maya, which is Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum. Cancun, everybody knows, it's where the big international airport. To get to where I am, it's 45 minutes. To get to Tulum, it's another 50 minutes. Okay. So the whole Riviera Maya is about 2 hours away from the airport in Cancun. Cancun real estate, anything that's really worth your while, or anything that you're actually going to be making a decent profit on, you're looking at the $1 million plus mark.
Okay.
Because that's the only things that will be like walking distance from the beach or where you're near like the tourist attractions.
And is that just because of Cancun being as built out as it's been over the years and just such an attraction?
It has to do with geography. Cancun was man-made. A lot of people don't know this, but the hotel strip, which is literally this teeny piece of land, it was man-made. And it's all filled with 5-star resorts and hotels. So real estate in that area is super expensive.
Okay.
You could go further into Cancun town, but as an investment property, I don't recommend it. Why? Because people want to be able to walk to the beach or be able to get like that Caribbean town feel, which Cancun really doesn't have anymore.
Okay.
Playa del Carmen has the longest strip of beach where literally there's properties where you can get for $150,000 with a 3-minute walk, you're on the water.
Wow.
So, and Playa does have this like little Caribbean feel to it where you can walk to this really cute French diner for breakfast and then get some tacos for lunch and still have like big international brands be there. So it's the perfect mix between like big city and small town. So you have something it's super family oriented. And then we go all the way down to Tulum, where Tulum is the yoga capital of the world outside of India. But you have holistic retreats and you have spiritual, people are looking to find themselves in Tulum. It's become a really big boom. Just to name a couple things, the Green School in Bali, I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's like a huge project where anybody who has a lot of money wants their kids in this school because they have like a super different like hands-on approach, and it's personalized classes for the groups, and they're opening one of these schools in Tulum.
Oh,
from
wow.
Bali in Tulum. So now we're kind of getting to the point where people can look to live in Tulum for a little bit more of a long term. Or at least the snowbird's life where it's freezing cold in Canada or the northern part of the States, you can get away from the snow, live in really comfortable temperatures, and then go back for the summers.
Got it. So share a little bit. We were talking about, the political climate and, how the government is structured, and then, the different initiatives and why Tulum and where you're at, why that area is exploding.
Sure. Okay. So Mexico gets a new president every 6 years, and they can't be reelected. Every president tends to have a pet project that they really, really like, and they do everything within their power to push. This president's is called the Mayan Train, which is going to have 17 stations. And what it's going to do is give complete connectivity to the Yucatan Peninsula. So by 2023, the first segment should be ready, which will connect Tulum, Playa del Carmen, and Cancun. Then we go expanding to the rest of the peninsula. For instance, Chichen Itza, which is, one of the 7 wonders of the world. A lot of people come to the peninsula to see it, but it is a 2-hour drive. With the new train, you're going to hop on the train, maybe 45 minutes later, you're going to be at this, at this amazing landmark and be able to enjoy it and hop on the train and come back. And they're going to have like luxury first class, dining cards. So it's going to be an experience in itself.
That's incredible. So
there's also the airport in Tulum that's coming in 2023. That's going to finish the connectivity of the whole area. So you're not going to have a 2-hour drive from the Cancun airport, which is the closest.
So you'll be able to fly right into Tulum.
Exactly.
So seeing where the market is going, looking at it from an investment point of view, where are those opportunities? And is, if speaking to, hey, if you're looking to make some investments, this is where you want to be paying attention to.
This is the amazing thing. Playa del Carmen, Tulum, there's also a ton of little towns that kind of spread out between. They have investment properties that will, if you have someone that's a client, that's an absolute, in love with golf. Golf is their main. I have 6 golf courses, 2 of which are PGA. So we can find something right next to a golf course for them. If I have a retiree that really wants a super calm neighborhood, we have gated communities with marinas and like where you can go and stroll and see dolphins while you have like some gelato. There is something for everyone. As long as they've been to Mexico at least once and they're open to this investment, they will be blown away with what they can actually get for their money. Appreciation values are in the double digits constantly. So we're talking the last years in Tulum, it's 16, 14, 15, consistently over double digit, appreciation rates. And your return on an investment is a minimum of 6 to 8%. And this is like the bare minimum. Most Tulum properties are having a 10% return, at least on the active side of on the model. Why? Because we go back to our occupancy. 2020 Tulum, Airbnb occupancy was at 78%.
Wow.
Our Tulum normally is at 89 to 100% occupancy throughout the year.
So from an investment point of view, if somebody's looking to get in and invest now, Tulum is the place to be.
Definitely. There's a lot of new developments in Tulum. The great thing about buying in Mexico, most of the properties that you're buying are new. The resale market isn't hot here. Here we're going to talk about fresh from developers. So you can get in on that pre-construction phase. I'm going to simplify numbers let's say you're able to buy a property at $100,000 pre-sale, and it's going to be delivered within 12 months of when you've purchased. At the moment that the building is ready, your unit will be worth $130,000. So you're going to make 30% in a year on just the property value in itself, if you're talking pre-construction prices. Once you add on that, plus the appreciation rate every year, which is about 10%, let's be real conservative, 10%, plus your return on investment with the active side of the rentals. So you're looking at another 8%.
Wow.
So all these, when you combine them, it makes a lot of sense. And the cherry on top of the sundae is when you come down to Mexico, you get to stay somewhere you absolutely love and it's yours. And you don't pay when you stay.
And in a couple of years, you'll be able to fly right into Tulum instead of having to take the ride down. No, that's fantastic. So looking at getting into some of those opportunities, what's the financing structure? Is that different? How does that apply in Mexico versus, here in the States?
Definitely. Now, most people in the States will go to a mortgage broker and they'll be able to finance most of the property. Here in Mexico, it's really expensive money is really expensive. A really good mortgage rate here in Mexico is about 9.8%. That's like an absolute, it's a steal for a mortgage. Whereas in the States and Canada, they would look at you like you're crazy. How are you going to pay that? Exactly.
Yeah, they would.
They would look at, so what we normally offer, actually, it's a great point. I have another conference with a expert on the subject today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can put the link if anybody wants to jump on that with us. She has a company that is called Cash in Mexico. So what they do is they work with Citibank, and they help foreigners get internal financing for buying properties in Mexico. So there are different options. We also can go through a mortgage broker here in the States and maybe refinance a property that you have. And now we have a couple options. There are not many, but that developers will give you direct financing. So the developer will say, you know what, pay me over 10 years.
Really?
Without even going through the bank. Exactly. Yes.
So there's a lot more, it sounds like a lot more creativeness in the Mexico investment opportunity, especially in the area that you're in.
Exactly. This is actually very, very common for this area in Mexico. If we go to other parts of Mexico, we are in a little bubble in ourselves. Why? Because Cancun is the face of Mexico in most of the world. So everybody knows Cancun. Everybody knows the sandy beaches and the turquoise water. Everybody kind of can say, okay, that's Cancun. So here, I'm going to say that over 70% of our investors are foreigners. They're people that live in Europe, people that live in Canada, people that live in the States. Why? Because again, if we're going to be talking, $200,000 investment, that's going to be able to give you these returns. Very few other places can do this for you.
I want to stay on the investment side of things before we talk maybe, other parts of Mexico, or even being a real estate agent in Mexico.
Okay.
So I would love for you to kind of walk me through a couple different price point scenarios, and kind of what our options would be, what that would get for us, what that would look like from an investment point of view. So let's start out kind of on your lower end. I don't know what would be a good low end kind of investment.
Okay, so a studio apartment. Here we have price points that can go from $89,000 to maybe $160,000. What the difference is going to be is location. The 160 sides are going to be, in Playa del Carmen, you're going to be walking to the beach, and in Tulum, you're going to be in the areas which are more desirable touristic wise. I mean, Tulum is fantastic. We'd have to get into like zones, and just like Dallas has different areas. Just here in Tulum, there being two streets one way or two streets the other makes a huge difference sometimes in price points.
Yeah.
But you're going to be looking at a studio. You're going to be looking at something 400 to 500 square feet. Not huge, but you have to think that all the buildings where you purchase have amenities. You're going to have a gym. You're going to have a pool. You're going to have normally maybe a yoga studio, and all this comes with the unit. It's not you have to pay extra to get that. So when you come to enjoy it, you have resort type amenities, or when your guests come and pay to stay, they have access to resort type amenities. And this doesn't matter if you're in a studio, a 1 or a 2 bedroom. There are projects that have the whole range, and you're going to see like a 3 bedroom penthouse, the higher price point, upwards of $500,000, $600,000, that have access to the same amenities as a studio that's 120. So it doesn't, a lot of people say, no, but I'm not going to be able to put my whole huge family into a studio. Yes, that's true. But you can take your earnings from the studio and rent the 3 bedroom penthouse for the 2 weeks you want to be here and still get, the best of both worlds.
Right.
Yeah. And you don't have to buy exactly what you were going to use. I mean, it's an investment. It doesn't have to be the investment that also fits your vacation lifestyle. It can differ.
Gotcha.
Now, if we go up to like a 1 bedroom, you can be going anywhere from like the 160 to the 250. A 2 bedroom, you would be looking at that 250 to 350. And then the really, really odd, like 3 bedrooms, because there's not that many, you're looking at $500,000 to $600,000.
And these can be all in the same building.
Yes, these can be all in the same buildings. There are some buildings that will have only studios. And then they'll have some buildings that have a combination of studios, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms.
Gotcha. And really from an investment point of view, you're really wanting to get into that type of project just to capitalize on the resort amenities and all the stuff that comes with it. Just
exactly
from a rental perspective.
Okay, so this is it's not a funny, but the smaller the unit, the higher your returns on investment are. Because a studio fits 2 to 3 people. A 1 bedroom fits 2 to 3 people. The 1 bedroom is going to be larger. It's going to be more expensive, but you're not going to be able to charge much more than a studio. So as an investment point of view, you don't always have to say, oh, I need the bigger one to make more money. No, actually, sometimes people say, I want a 3 bedroom. Let's buy 3 studios. It makes more money than actually having 1 big 3 bedroom. Because it has to do with the tourism and the demand. Families, big families, which are the ones that need like the bigger spaces, they travel normally on summer holidays. They travel on Christmas holidays. So they're limited to school schedules to when they can travel. Whereas couples can travel all year, doesn't really matter. And they're the ones that kind of keep the units busy all, out of the 52 weeks. Right.
Love that. And so now shift it around a little bit. If somebody's looking to, come to you and say, hey, Isis, we want a property that really is going to fit our lifestyle. We understand,
Mhm.
yeah, we're still going to use it as an investment, but we're wanting to spend summers, we're wanting to spend more time here. What would, somebody be thinking about or looking for, and what would that price point, what would that be?
Okay, so a gorgeous 3-bedroom home with a ton of amenities and a gated community here is going to be about $250,000.
Wow.
Again, a little bit further from the beach. And when I say further, instead of a 3-minute car ride, it's a 5-minute car ride.
Okay.
I mean, distance-wise here, we're super spoiled. I'll be honest. If I'm in my vehicle for more than 10 minutes, it's too far. We're really spoiled. Like, for me to take my kids to daycare, it's a 4-minute car ride.
I can't get out of the neighborhood in 10 minutes.
We're really spoiled. And the fact that your quality of life here is amazing. Why? Because we're never stuck in traffic. Yes, it is 45 minutes to an hour to get to Tulum, but it's it's like 140 miles away. I mean, it's not, you're on a road going, 80, 90 kilometers an hour, or 120 kilometers an hour, it's distance. But
right.
In Playa, to get, if you're in your car for more than 10 minutes, it's like, wow, that is way too far.
Yeah. What if somebody, hey, I want that beach lifestyle. I want my home on the beach. Like what is there, are they able to find that? And what does that look like?
Okay. Yes. Now there are these $1 million homes, million plus, that are beachfront, and these are normally 4 to 5 bedrooms. And these are the ones that are making at least, the $2 million properties are making about $300,000 a year in profits.
Wow.
Yes, it's a bigger investment, but your return is much bigger. And these are rented almost year round. Why?
Gotcha.
Because there is this, higher end people that come in, they say, you know what, if I'm not on the beach, I don't want to use it. And yes, there are options for that.
So the investment is definitely the short-term stay, the short-term rentals.
Yes.
Is where the big investment opportunity is, within your bubble, right?
Exactly. It's also important to really jump in at that pre-construction. Now, buying in pre-construction sounds scary for someone. A lot of people, I'm buying in Mexico pre-construction. It's not ready yet. So that's really where I come in the sense of, like, me and my team to say, you know what, this developer is not the same as that developer. This one, I have no issue recommending, yes, you buy, we can go. And we walk you through the whole process as well. We're going to be having another live stream with lawyers and international tax attorneys that are going to help kind of answer a lot of questions in terms of, how to protect yourself and how to do things the right way here in Mexico. And that'll be on June 10th as well.
So Isis, please. So a lot of these videos don't get watched at the time we go live. They do get a lot of views after the fact. So if you would, one, before we wrap up, best way to communicate, being able to find that information, as well as, make sure we're sharing, those streams back into the Honey Badger Facebook group. So
sure.
A lot of our community can find it. One thing I would love for you to walk us through, say I'm an investor, I'm investing in that pre-construction. I know it's going to be 12 to 14 months before the unit is ready. Walk me through that experience of how your team communicates with me as an investor during that time frame.
Okay, so one of the only good things that has come out of COVID is that everyone is so much more comfortable jumping on a Zoom.
100%.
So we do a lot of Zooms. So it feels like you have that face-to-face connection. So let's walk you through. Let's say, you know what, this is our first meeting. I would literally get to know you. So I'd say, hey, John, what are you looking to buy? Why are you looking to buy this? Because again, some people have an idea of what they think they want to buy. And then once you actually get into like the nit and gritty, like I actually would recommend maybe let's not do the 3-bedroom, let's do 3 studios, that sort of option. So once I really get to know the client, we make recommendations. So we might send you over I don't know, 5 to 7 developments that really fit what you're looking at. So we normally send you a PDF which has apple to apple comparisons. Like they're going to say, how many square feet is it? What is the price per square foot? What amenities does it have? Pictures of the development, pictures of the unit, so you can get an idea. All of the developers here are really good with renders, so it's super simple to actually see like a 3D render of most of the projects. Most developers do that for us. So once we let's say we have our top 3, that's when most people will come visit us here directly in Mexico. And they'll say, and then we will actually go physically to the locations. More than not, I will go pick up the clients from the airport personally. I'll take them to the hotel. You know, we are a full service stop at the end of the day.
I love it. I love it.
It's all about the service. It's making people happy. That's what makes me happy. So
about that, and it's about the experience as well, right?
Exactly. So let's say out of your top 3, we found one. This is the one we want to buy. Fantastic. So this is where my job really starts. We submit an offer. We say, hey, developer, I want unit 101. And this is normally here in Mexico, one of the huge differences, whereas in the States and Canada, you have to submit an offer over asking. Here in Mexico, we usually submit offers under asking.
I like that.
Yes, we do under asking. So here, pre-construction, the higher your down payment, the higher your discount. So there are some developers, if you can go up to an 80% down payment, we can get a 10% discount off the price.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So again, that's all part of my job to talk to the clients to get them the absolute best deal. And I'm going to say, you know what, we're going to ask for them to throw in one of those storage units for free. You know, try to get the best deal for the client. That's where we come in. So we structure the deal, and what happens? Every developer is going to ask you for a $5,000 deposit, and it's 100% reimbursable. This, what it does, it gets the ball rolling and says, yes, I am a serious client. I am interested. So with that, we submit the offer and the negotiations go back and forth. So let's say, you know, I want to give only 60% down payment, but I still want that 10% discount. The developer might come back, you know what, I can't do the 10% discount. How does 6% sound? And then we go back and forth until we find a deal where everybody is happy. Once that is set, a promise of sale contract is drafted, and that will be sent to you in Spanish and in English. Now, these contracts are very straightforward. They tend to be very simple. It's the rules of engagement. What happens if the developer does not, you know, have the unit ready on time, and what happens if you don't pay on time? Gotcha. That's kind of like the gist of what that happens. If clients feel comfortable enough to sign that and send it over, that's usually when we're looking at that down payment, which is a minimum of a 30% and can go all the way to 100% depending on what the negotiations were for the final price. Once that's ready, if the building is going to be ready in a year, then literally my job is to send you pictures every month or so. Oh, look, this is how the building is going. This is, you know, kind of keeping people updated on the construction. And once the property is ready, that's when we sign the deed. And there's 2 different ways of doing this for foreigners. We could either do it through a trust or we can do it through an LLC. This is what we're going to be discussing on June 10th. With the lawyers that really are the experts on the subject, but on
the right way to structure the investments.
Exactly, because if you're going to be buying multiple properties, it makes more sense to do it through an LLC. If it's a one-time property, it makes more sense to do it through a trust. And then there's a whole bunch of other, you know, legal ramifications in the sense of, you know, if you do it this way, then you can get, you know, this much except from tax from capital gains. You know, it's the whole. We provide the whole structure to make you. My job is from start. You know, once you get hooked on me, I'm with you for life. Because at the end of the day, it's okay. So let's structure your tax returns. Let's make sure that this is, you know, all moving forward. You want to sell it, I can sell it for you. You know, the whole thing. I'm there from start until finish, and that finish really never comes, because it's usually one property, then two, and then let's sell this one to buy a bigger one. And it's continues down the road.
Working. I love that. Isis, what's some of the bigger differences from your bubble to other parts of Mexico?
Okay, well, speaking strictly as an agent, commissions. Here, just to get you an idea, developers will pay from 6, 8, 9, even 10% to brokers to sell their product. The rest of Mexico, you're looking at 4%. So commission-wise, it's much more lucrative to be on this side. Investment property-wise, very few other places in Mexico can say that they have millions and millions of tourists per year that have the infrastructure to take care of them, that have, theme parks and have, luxury restaurants and 5-star experiences for the people that are coming in. Whereas the rest of Mexico, if someone is looking, I want to retire in, a lake district, something really pretty in the middle of nowhere, we have that as well. That's where my dad comes in for pretty much the rest of Mexico in real estate developments. But if you're looking for an investment property, 100% hands down, Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen is where you want to be. I was just speaking to a broker in Cabo, and he was showing me a couple options. He's like, oh, this one has just been reduced in price. This one has just been reduced in price. And I was like, that doesn't happen here. We don't have. At the start of the pandemic, I had a few clients on the line. I was like, guys, we're going to wait. I'm sure the developers are going to, readjust some of the prices. Well, I was wrong. I'm not afraid to say it. I was wrong. And they did not go down. Instead, the prices actually went up. And we did not have a slowdown during the pandemic. We've had some of the best, or one of our best years on record, actually.
Wow. And with what's coming, it sounds like it's going to continue to grow and grow. And, tourism, drives jobs, drive the housing. And so, yeah.
And also the lifestyle, in the sense that a lot of people understood that they can now be digital nomads. They can actually work from anywhere that has internet. So a lot of people say, you know what, if I can live somewhere where my quality of life is infinitely higher, why wouldn't I want to do that?
100%. 100%. No, I love that. So share with, somebody that's like, oh, you got me hooked. I can work from anywhere, quality of life. That is what I want, but I want to get into being an agent in Mexico. What does that look like? Okay,
so we have EXP in Mexico, which you could work directly. Now, Mexico, one of the biggest differences, again, with the States and Canada, is we do not need a license here. So here, being an agent, you have to know your stuff, right? You have to understand the way the markets work. But learning that is one of the great things that Mexico has to offer. You sign up with EXP and you can start growing your business anywhere you are, because even though you're in Mexico, you have friends in the States, you can recruit them and you can put them into your business model, even though you are in Mexico. And now that we're opening in Colombia and we're opening them in Spain and we're opening up in so many new Latin American or Spanish-speaking countries, it's really just a sense of being able to work from everywhere. And I have clients now that are saying, hey, Isis, I want something in Miami. Oh, fantastic. I make the connection and I'm still having a business with that. It's not just the simple like, oh, you can work with her, because I know if we're an EXP, I have a referral with that.
That's the power of the global team. And then also because you're positioning yourself from an investment and working with investors. And then, so that continues the relationship conversation. What other markets are you looking in? I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
and anyone in the States and Canada that has an investor it has to be a particular type of investor. If they're the ones that, they've never left the country, maybe offering Mexico might not be for them. But now as time goes by, the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. More people have been to Mexico. More people are open to seeing what they could get and what they could actually invest their money in and use.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So no license, being able to sell real estate. I'm sure that has its ups and downs as well, to be able to look out for.
Mhm. Definitely. I mean, you have to, when you want to do something, you want to do it right. There's good and bad people everywhere, and there's people that, make being a realtor really hard sometimes. And then there's other people that, it's a joy to work with. It all depends on the community here of realtors is really close knit, and we tend to really help each other, even if we're not within the same company, which makes it really great. Because being an independent here in Mexico, in this area, has made it fantastic for me, because I know that if I ever needed help with one of my colleagues, I can help them. Hey, can you help me with this? Do you have information on this developer? And we're very open with that information.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I have agents coming down from the States that will be working with us here in Mexico, that they're like moving their family down here, and they're going, we're starting to looking for houses for them.
Yep.
And they're going to be wanting to working down here, and they can do this through EXP.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And, one of, there's always silver linings. And I think one of, the silver lining with 2020 and in the pandemic is it just forced us and accelerated. It collapsed almost a decade, right, into 14 months of, being okay and understanding that you can work from anywhere. And, so really EXP obviously being, the model at the forefront of that, to be able to work from anywhere within that model structure is just fantastic.
It is. I mean, for me, it was funny because I was invited a few times before I actually jumped on the train, because I didn't understand it. I did not see how it would help me until I was actually, I was contacted by Mona. I have to give a huge shout out to her. She's the one that, she would not let me go. She's like, no, hold on. I got to a meeting with such and such. I was like, no, they didn't answer the questions. No, okay, I got to a meeting with, she worked her little butt off until she got me in front of the right person that answered all my questions. And I was like, yes, where do I sign up? I loved it enough that I told my dad signed on to it, and I have other people joining the team, which, I see a bright future. Because again, the more people you have working towards the same goal, the easier it is to reach it. And you're really working as a team. You're not competing against each other. You're working with each other, which I think that is one of the things that I liked most about EXP.
Yeah. Collaboration over competition. And I mean, we all still have a competitive, drive, but just really the power and the collaboration. For you, what was it that you finally saw that you were like, yep, I've got to be there. I've got to be a part of EXP. Really,
the ability to connect with people in different parts of the States and Canada that are brokers, that are in the business, that are going to be the ones that can, make me grow, make them grow, in the sense that I have a product that is amazing. I have an investment for any type of person out there, from the one that wants to invest less than 100 grand, the one that wants to invest $1 million. I have product for them, and it's going to make them money, and it's going to make them want to buy more. So if I can have a broker that can transmit that to all of their clients, I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer. I was like, this connection, this ability to share what I have, exponentially, no-brainer.
Yeah, no, I love that. What, before we kind of wrap up and give all the best ways to connect with you and some things that people need to maybe pay attention to, what for you, obviously the new move over, a lot of opportunity within what's going on. What is most important for you right now?
In EXP would be for people to start looking at Mexico and really thinking investment opportunities. There's so many opportunities, and people just have to see it. If they can't see it, if they don't know it's around, they're not going to know. So right. For me, it's for people to start seeing Mexico as what it is, an opportunity to invest, an opportunity to grow their portfolios, and to be a part of something that was going to make their life better. Just knowing that you have a property on the beach is like half your brain can be on a vacation part of the year, right? Like,
right.
3 more weeks and we're in Playa, 3 more weeks and I'm on the beach, and knowing that that property is making you money while you're not there, it's like peace of mind.
Yeah. I love that. You definitely have piqued my interest. I will say that. And I hope this conversation, does the same for a lot of folks. And
I think we can schedule a one-on-one and we'll see your needs and we see if we can find you something down here. And then you could transmit your one-on-one experience to see how it was buying a property down here.
That's right. Absolutely. I love it. What anything that we want to maybe touch on before we jump off of today's
if anybody, if this piqued your interest, hey, I want more information, please go ahead and reach out to me. You can find me. I'm on the Honey Badgers website. You can find me on the EXP Workplace. My name is Isis Papadakis. In the chat, can they see what I put on the chat? Can they see that?
Can. I don't know, with us inside of StreamYard, it's real hard. But maybe come back around and be able to put that in there for sure. We'll be able to share. Yeah,
just put my contact information. I do WhatsApp. I do a lot of WhatsApp on the phone. You can get in contact with me. And normally I can send you a calendar link, and that way they can, set up a time for one-on-ones. That's usually what we do. When clients are interested, we send them a link. They set the time that works for them, and then we do that on a one-on-one basis.
That is absolutely, definitely playing to the overall experience and what's important for the clients, making it as enjoyable as possible. I do have a little video that you had shared.
It's great. If you could share that with
them. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to see if we can just play this real quick.
Okay.
I thought it was amazing. So I want to play this, and we'll let that roll for everybody.
Okay.
That is that's awesome.
A little bit to taste. There's really something for everyone here in Mexico.
Yeah.
If they're open to say, you know what, let's do a small investment. Let's start at $100K. It's a perfect starting point.
I love it. And make sure you guys, if you're really interested or know somebody, get this video, share it with them, as well as reach out to Isis and tune into the additional trainings. I know, like you said, one today at what'd you say,
4 p.m. It's actually, we're on the same time zone, so 4 p.m. today. If I can maybe I can get you guys the link, and you guys can go ahead and help us with that one, and just kind of share it with your
100%.
team.
Yep.
And I'll be letting you guys know we're going to be trying to do one a week on like different developers and different things, just to get people, immersed in everything that we have here.
I love it, and it's going to be exciting to get down there to see it firsthand.
That was the next part. I was going to say, anybody that's down here for a vacation, please let me know. I'd love to get a drink, get coffee, get lunch, and show you around with the eyes of a real estate broker or as an investor, because it really does change how you look at things. And and make it a working vacation. Get the best of both worlds.
I love it. Hector, thank you so much for sharing that link for today. Make sure you guys jump in, and then be looking forward to the training coming out in a week or so that gets really into the best legal structure. So
exactly.
I love the one-stop shop, fully integrated, being able to take it from, idea till forever. And it's really, really fantastic what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you. We're so excited that we get to be part of EXP. It's the only way I could think of actually going global. I mean, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, it is. It's so cool. Well, Isis, thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking the time.
No, thank you guys. I really look forward to connecting on one-on-ones with anybody. If you have any questions, please, we're here for you guys. Again, working with people, making you happy makes us happy.
I love it. I know Andre's tuning in, and Andre, if you wouldn't mind maybe sharing Isis' contact information in the chat, and we'll definitely follow up and look forward to seeing you guys soon. Isis, thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks.
All righty. See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya.